How important is atmosphere in your routine, in your regimen? How important is the atmosphere in the room to what you're doing?
Atmosphere is everything for me. I mean, I live on energy. I'm a person that comes in. I love an energetic situation. I don't like when people sit down and are passive and laid back, and it's difficult for me to sit still. I'm gonna be honest with you. So when I come in to go to work, you know, we emulate the surroundings we're in. You know, I mean, and there's no question. If you take an environment, you take a kid, and it comes down to anything in society. You take a kid and put him in an environment, he's surrounded by nothing but kids that are getting in trouble or drug dealers or problems. It's hard for that kid to get out of that situation because that's what he knows. That's what he emulates. That's what he surrounded himself with. If you take that same kid and you give him an opportunity to be around people who want to achieve educations, have a great environment, next thing you know, the kid's a great kid. He's had a successful life. Well, it's the same thing in any atmosphere. If you come into an environment where a kid's kind of laid back and I'm mosey and my head's down and I'm kind of pouting, next thing you know, you feel like you don't want to work out. You know, today's going to be miserable. I got to come in here. I got to get this done. You know, my life's so hard. Well, hell, you know, nothing in life's that hard. You just need to rise up, get your mind right, and get set. So when we come into the weight room, you know, we have a mentality about it. You know, I'm excited. I'm energetic. I want to make sure that my attitude and my energy consumes the room, and I want to make sure that the people around me have that same attitude, that same energy, and that same drive. And it's difficult to be an athlete and go through what we just talked about. I mean, it's a rigorous, painful cycle. There's nothing. You know, people say, "Oh, I'd love to do that." Well, hell, come on in for a day and find out how much you love it. I mean, there's nothing easy about being a Division I athlete and training at the highest level in the United States or anywhere in the world. You know, and to me, when you look at that as a pinnacle of productivity and you look at that athlete, you know, these kids have a tough job. They got to come in and go to work and pay the price. Well, it's my job to make sure that I provide the atmosphere that allows them to do that.
We were actually challenged on our show to go through a day of your workouts and see who could last longer. We won't even visit that one. But
let me know when you want to come.
If you're open to the challenge. We're open to the challenge. I want to talk about, not in particular the individuals, but when a program takes over, there's attrition involved. And really, there's not been much attrition involved with this program. When you accept and you come here, do you have this feeling? Do you look around the room and can you tell, you know, hey, some of you guys aren't going to make it through? And were you surprised the amount of people that did make it through?
We've got great kids. I mean, the difference from when we came here to now is light years. I mean, these kids have paid the price. They came in here. They want to be successful. You know, this is the University of Michigan. I mean, you got kids that are elite athletes that want to play football and want to be great at what they do. So they have a high standard set for themselves. And I think although they were nervous and thinking, oh boy, this guy's half lunatic, you know, at some point they got to a point where they realized, hey, look, this is really great for me. I mean, I'm feeling faster, I'm stronger, I'm more explosive, and the bottom line is I can provide all these tools and all this direction and all this energy. The kids got to do the work, and these kids have been willing to pay the price. We're successful because we got great football coaches and we got great players that want to play hard and they want to do everything they got to do. I'm the weakest link. You know, when you look at the pile, that's really the truth. I go down there and give them tools, but these kids have paid that price to be there. And you know, anytime you go into a new area and you're gonna change training. I mean, the type of training there's not going to be anybody in America who trains close to us. It's not going to happen. I mean, and I'm going to make that a point. There's no way anybody's going to outwork us.
That's what makes you guys. Is that what makes Michigan? Is that what makes your program unique? Like if I look at Mike Barwis' strength and conditioning program, what sets it apart from some of the other strength and conditioning programs we might see at USC or Florida or Florida State? What sets yours apart?
Their training protocols, one, they're not going to do all those dimensions of training we just talked about. We're probably the only people that do as many types of dimension of training as anywhere in the country, and we probably apply more science into our training anywhere, period, when it comes down to the science application. At the same time, when you look at that, you know, that's all a product. You know, you can be a scientist and understand application and come up with an idea. If you can't make it intense and make the environment an environment that elicits greatness and get into that environment, coach and make kids energetic about and fired up about putting 500 pounds on their back and hitting reps and running sprints till they throw up and pushing themselves to the absolute limits of their mental and physical capabilities, then you're not doing anything. You've wasted your time with your science because they're not going to grow if they're not pushing themselves to those points. And I know the bottom line is Coach Rodriguez will demand more and expect more of his kids than any coach in America. And That's because he cares about them. That's the bottom line. He doesn't want to go home and look in the mirror and let them know that he let those kids down. I'm the same guy, and that's why I love working for Rich Rodriguez. I mean, there's no one else in America I want to work for. And that's the bottom line. When you look at it, the bottom line is we come in here with that attitude that I'm going to provide everything that kid needs to be successful, and I'm going to push him as far as he could possibly go, places that he can't take himself, to ensure that he's going to be better than everybody else in that game. And I don't, you bring anybody anywhere in America in and say, hey, look, come on, get a workout. I've Olympic guys, pro guys, ask them how that first workout was, knowing that, man, I never even thought you could do this. Well, that's good. That's what I want, because we're going to learn that you can do a hell of a lot more than you thought you were capable of doing. And I don't think we had a lot of attrition. I don't think people bailed or ran down the road for a number of reasons. One, they felt the success and they felt, hey, look, this is something that's great for me. I'm improving dramatically, even though it hurts like hell, and I'm suffering. They started to develop a greater pride about themselves and felt, hey, look, when I feel like this, I've been driving a Yugo, now I'm driving a Ferrari. This Ferrari feels pretty good. I like sticking it in gear and getting out of here. And that's, I think that's something that excites people. Now, when you look at, there are some people that don't want to pay that price. The price they're paying right now is dear. And the bottom line is, some people don't want to pay that price. That's fine. And I have no problem with those people. Just, kind of go about your way. We'll still love you. I care about every kid I work with. I love them all like they're my family. They are my family. But at the same time, we'll still love you. We'll still care about you. But, you need to step out of the way so someone else can get through the door, because we're going that way. If you don't want on, step off the side and get out of the way.